there's a woman named Melissa who came to our clinic about 2 years ago, I think. She had become homeless, living in Berkeley, sleeping out on the street. Her son, just within a month, just weeks before, had been murdered on the street in Berkeley. And she had injured, was it an arm or a leg? I'm not sure. So she came to us, and we were able to give her a lot of support and tried to help her as much as we could. She keeps coming back with her health problems. It's such a pleasure to see her. Again, loving relationship. I worried about her having to travel all the way from Berkeley to Oakland, but the last time I saw her, she was living in a tent in Oakland, but doing all right. We couldn't really change that for her. She wasn't asking us to. She just came in to get some loving care and exchange her love with us. I'm happily very much consecrated to the Immaculate Heart of our Blessed Mother Mary. And she sort of definitely arranges many things for me in my life, and she got me into the clinic. I was leaving church after Mass one day, and a member of the order said, "Why don't you come and volunteer in our clinic?" Well, I didn't know anything about it. And the pastor was right behind me, and he said, "Yeah, Tom, why don't you do that?" So I thought, well, there's a message. So I did.
You know, there's two things that come to mind quickly when I think of Dr. Tom Wallace. First is just his humble character and nature. He does so many things for the clinic, for our community, for the spirituality and faith of people around, and never wants to get credit for it. I know there's a saying, I believe from St. Francis, that, preach always but use words when necessary. And that's really the example that Dr. Wallace gives to all of us. And then the second is just his commitment. First of all, he's has more energy than I have, but every morning, whether it's at daily Mass, whether it's at the Legion of Mary, whether it's at the clinic seeing patients every day, he works more than many people I know in their 20s. And I think that's also an inspiration.
Yeah, we see about 300 patients in a week. I get there in the morning and things have already started. Patients are already being seen. Nurses are doing the intake. When they've got the patient ready, then we have 3 examining rooms, and I'll see one of the patients in one of the exam rooms, spend time talking with them, getting history from them, examining them, and we do pretty complete exams. Then maybe I'll go talk to another doctor or two to see what they think, and then I'll order laboratory tests for them and x-rays if it's necessary, and prescribe medication. And get things scheduled for them to come back.
Having an example like Dr. Wallace around us to know that we are also here to help others. And that's really important, and it should be an important part of how we live our life. And then secondly is his faith. You cannot talk about Dr. Wallace and not have faith as being part of the example that he brings to all of us. And that crosses generations. There's a whole group, now with young kids, 1 or 2 years old, that, we all get together with him as families because he's just an inspiration to all of us.
There's a real need to take care of these patients, and we have to scramble to get them all taken care of in a day. Today, I know that we're a doctor short, so I want to get back to help out the other doctors to get the patients seen so they don't wait too long. Every day I wake up and it's become part of a routine, but it's a very satisfying routine because it's going to be a nice experience when I get there.